Well, hello there. It's another edition of Paul Mash Show, and we're glad that you could join us. And we got a great interview coming up for you in just a minute. But before we get into that, I want to thank you for watching the Paul Mash Show, which has only been two or three episodes of this. So we want to hear feedback from you. So if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously just hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and whenever you get a new episode, it'll go right to your inbox and let you know. And you can also use the comment section and let us know what you think. And we'd appreciate that. You can also use our email address, paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And it's not just for fans, but it's for anything else like bands or solo artists on my music show, as well as any other guests on this show. And we'll tell you how to get on it, and we'll let you know there. And also, if you're on Facebook, facebook.com / Paul Mash TV, and just like the page and inbox us and comment on everything you see there. And we also have an official web address, and we'll give you the details on that at the closing credits at the end of the show, which will recap everything we just said there. So stay tuned for that. In just a moment, we're going to have Chef Stu. He's a chef from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's a pretty good chef, too. He's been on a couple shows like Guy Fieri, and so forth. And I know you'll be interested in everything he has to say. So let's get started. Here we go. Okay, it's interview time, and with us from Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Chef Stu. Thanks for joining us, Chef Stu.
Thank you for having me. I always say all good things come from above, but the helping hands certainly belong to you. So thank you for this opportunity to give me an opportunity to chop it up with you.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you. And Chef Stu is actually, I guess you would call it a mainstream chef because you're on national TV and you got your own show on TV and that whatnot.
Yeah, safe to say I'm all that in a bag of chips. You know, you know what I mean? No, I've had an incredible journey. None of the things that ever happened was honestly part of what I would think would be the plan. I kind of like stepped into my purpose, and in that, I've been able to experience some really cool things. And so, yes, I've been on lots of national television shows. I've been on Food Network, Guys Grocery Games. I had a chance to win the show Cutthroat Kitchen on Food Network, so I am a Food Network champion. I've also recently appeared on Supermarket Stakeout on Food Network. And so BET, TV One, Fox 45. I mean, it's been a really cool experience, but like with all that being said, my next thing is Woozle TV. I have a show called How To with Chef Stu, and I'm really excited about the show because a lot of the shows that I've been on has been like me in competition or me kind of help hosting the show. And so this is my very first cooking show start to finish where I'm just really educating people on how to make really quick, healthy meals that's economical. I mean, I know that people are in the house, the COVID, we've kind of changed the new face of America. So there's a lot more people in the house, and it's kind of like you get to experiment, you know, and I kind of, you know, miss the old way of just ripping and running, but I kind of grew up in the old way where, you know, 7 o'clock, we really sat down as a family, we had dinner, we engage with each other. And so I know a lot of that's been going on in these recent times. And so having this show come out at this time, I think is great for just the family structure indirectly to give people an opportunity to cook.
Okay, well, that's good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you started being a chef? I'm sure you've always wanted to be a chef since you were little, but tell us in your own words how that happened.
I wanted to be a basketball player. Are you kidding
Oh,
me? Come on.
okay.
I thought I had a jump shot like everybody else, you know? I was like 5'2" when I was in 11th grade. So like my basketball dreams never really got serious. And now I'm actually 6'3". I got taller after I got out of school. And so like I did make the varsity basketball team, but I didn't start. And so it just went out the window. But I actually did take a culinary arts training program. And so indirectly, unfortunately, I would say, I grew up in a single parent household. My father passed away at a really young age. My mother used to work nights. And so that kind of made me kind of like in charge of the household. And so she would make dinner for us before she went to work. But think about it, your mom's going to work. And so it's like, now we don't have to do anything. She's not here. So we're cool. And so we would, run around and have fun. And then it would be time to eat dinner. And we're like, wait a minute, it's 7 o'clock. This food's been made earlier. And so this is one of those things in our household where be careful what you say, because it's like, hey, mom, like we really, didn't enjoy dinner last night. She's like, great, you make dinner tomorrow. Problem solved. And so from that, it was an experiment. I always think about Mikey in the Kicks commercial. Give it to Mikey, he'll eat it, because that's kind of how I did my brother growing up. I experimented. He tried it. He didn't pass out. And then I guessed that it was good. And from that, I would actually go to culinary school and take a culinary arts training program. And so I graduated while taking high school courses. I was also taking culinary arts courses. And so about age 12 to 17, 18-ish, I was cooking day in, day out, honestly. And it was just part of my day to day. But I kind of got burnt out after I graduated. It's like, finally, my brother's old enough to do stuff. My mother switched jobs. I'm moving on. So it's kind of like, let me try some other things. And I would go to college for business management, motivational speaking, but I really didn't cook. I didn't want cooking to be my career. So I kind of like tried all these other things. And so Napoleon Hill, one of my greatest, people that I always kind of look to when I think of things that help me propel. And I remember in the book, Think and Grow Rich, he said, your greatest success moment only comes after your biggest disappointment. And that kind of like really proved true in my life at one point, where I really figured out, like, I'm not passionate about any of these things that I'm doing. Like I'm willing to do whatever it takes for a buck, and I sway with the wind. Like I really want to get, into something that I can build more than just, a job. And so after taking like a little inventory of my life and realizing that the hospitality industry was based on, personality and service and, having great food. And so it was a lot of things that go into great restaurants besides just the food. It's the establishment, the way that things are done, and how you treat people and how you talk to people. And so like all these things were naturals for me. And nothing that I say is me bragging, but just you have to have that man in the moment mirror at that minute. And so I was like, hey, like I'm a great people's person. I really know how to cook. I got business. I know how to communicate. You know what? I'm going back into the restaurant world. Like I've been working at this all my life indirectly. Even the other jobs that I did that had nothing to do with food, I found ways to realize like, hey, well, look, I was playing gas lines, but it was like, hey, I still understood, productivity. And so it was like I was able to just tie it all back in. And so that's how I kind of stumbled back into it. And after that, man, I'm telling you, I never looked back. It took a lot of stuff for me to get back into what I would say my purpose. I had a foreclosed home. I had a repossessed car. The relationship went to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it just like, if there was a place to go and literally hide underneath of the earth, I would have did it for a couple of days to regroup. And so as I got older and I looked back, I realized like those wasn't actually bad things that were happening. It was like really, you know, aligning me to get to this point. And so in that whole message, and it allowed for me to go and start Transition Kitchen Foundation, which was my way to give back to communities. Because like, being really transparent with myself, realizing that, I started out, like several other people in a bad spot. I blamed myself, I blamed society, I blamed all the stuff that went along with it. Some of those things were out of my control, some of them were. And so the things that I could kind of control, I did. And then eventually, even though it's a little tough, I was able to make something out of it. And so a lot of people get famous, they get on television, they get rich, and then it's kind of like there's so many things that it takes to get to this point that you do have to guard your secrets slightly. And even when you give advice and give ideas, most people will think like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And it's like, well, I actually did it and I'm here. You're there and you're thinking that I'm talking crazy. That's crazy to me. But I just wanted to just share the knowledge and the resources that I've been able to accommodate and accumulate, I should say, throughout my journey to give back before I had it to kind of give back. And so that's pretty much a Chef Stew in a nutshell, man. From Baltimore City to cooking for celebrities to cooking for corporate companies, owning a catering company in Las Vegas, starting a foundation 6 years ago. And that's pretty much how it works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's quite a story there, Stu. Um, I'm glad that you were able to share that with us. Earlier I think you were mentioning that Guy's Grocery Games was a show you were on. Would you say that he was pretty much an influence on you, or did you have others besides? Or
All right, so meeting Guy Fieri, was he a cool guy? And I'm saying, come on, bro. This is the equivalent to the kid who think he knows how to play hockey, Wayne Gretzky, the kid who think he knows how to play basketball, Michael Jordan wants to play, the actor, and it's like Denzel Washington. So Guy Fieri, somebody who's the face of food, honestly. I mean, his personality, um, literally, I've learned about the Food Network through Guy Fieri. And so never thinking that I would ever meet him, having a chance to actually meet him, be in his presence, and get some tips and some insight, because there was a lot of stuff like that you don't get in the show sometimes, that just being able to talk to him, and he's really down to earth. He understands what it takes to win, and that was invaluable. Like, most people should want to emulate successful people, but you have to make sure that the person that you want to emulate has true success. And so clearly I look at him as somebody who is very powerful and very, influential in the food industry. And so meeting him, it's kind of crazy too, because after I appeared on Guys Grocery Games, I actually had him sign my chef jacket. And so I have this celebrity chef jacket where everybody who's ever either I cook for or celebrities that I've met, I get them to sign my jacket, and guys sign the jacket. So if you go to my Instagram, Chef Stew on Instagram, chef_Stew, Stew is spelled Stew, you'll see a picture of me and Guy Fieri holding up my chef jacket. And then about 2 years after airing on the show, I was working at Newton Soul Food inside of the Oracle Arena. And so I cooked every home game for the Golden State Warriors. And so when it got down to playoff times, Guy came down to the game. And so we went down and we gave him some food courtside. And it was like, Guy, hey, buddy, I haven't seen you in a while. When can you put me back on Guy's Grocery Games? So shouts out to Guy Fieri. He knows he's my boy. And I look forward to seeing him again sometime soon.
Okay. Well, what kind of things do you enjoy cooking the most? I mean, do you have a favorite food that you enjoy cooking?
Well, I'm from Baltimore, and after answering the question about Guy Fieri, think about it. I go on Food Network shows, so I have to be prepared to kind of cook all kinds of cuisines, because it is a competition. This is a challenge. I grew up in Baltimore, so I got seafood, and what most people always glorify about Baltimore is the crab. We're known for the blue crab, our crab cakes, our steamed crabs. But Baltimore has some hidden gems in the food culture. They have a nice little Jamaican influence and some Caribbean food in a certain area of Baltimore. They also have a big Italian influence in a certain area of Baltimore. And so then you got a crazy Asian influence, which is just all throughout everywhere you look at in Baltimore. So even growing up in Baltimore eating crab cakes, I still was able to, incorporate shrimp fried rice and lo mein, and incorporate different pastas and risottos, and, jerk chicken and jerk things like that. And so that was like what I came into the game with. But then, not to get crazy, but being African American, obviously Southern cuisine is almost like a given. You wake up and you learn how to make all this stuff. So I knew how to make that before I really start to learn how to do anything else. But once I wanted to go on TV and challenge other chefs, then I would find myself going to cities like San Francisco, where I would be able to pick up, Filipino cuisine and Indian cuisine and different things like that. And so you know, I'm kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. You wake up, you spin the wheel, it lands on Indian. Great, I'll make something Indian. You know, I might make something Asian. I may make something classic Southern. But sad but true, you know, I may just call Domino's Pizza. Like, I'm not one of those chefs that wants you to think that every day I'm just eating all this magnificent food. That's my job. It's like the guy who works on cars all day long, like finally a day off. He's not about to go and just, you know, change the transmission. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with me. So I cook for other people. That's the enjoyment. That's the thing that keeps it going. But when it's just me, trust me, corned beef, Swiss cheese, deli mustard, rye bread, panini press, I'm good.
All right. Well, what about Cajun food? I don't know. I'm a person, a spicy food fan myself, but I don't know if you do anything like that. But
Well, Baltimore, with the whole Old Bay being one of our signature seasonings, that has a little spice blend to it. So I do like that. New Orleans, to me, is one of the best food places in the world. Uh, but then I'll say that about Puerto Rico as well. But I love that Cajun. I love that heat. And then there's a misconception a lot of times when I make Indian food, people are under the inception that all Indian dishes are just, you know, basically steam baths waiting to happen on your tonsils. And it's not really the case, you know, like there's a lot of dishes that the balance of flavors is so unique that even when you think that it's hot, it'll cut off in your mouth. And now you taste the coolness of the dish. And so I enjoy that little roller coaster in your mouth, you know. So if you use a lot of the cilantro chutneys and the yogurt mint dressings and with the chicken masalas and, you know, those different type of things. And so same thing with Asian food a lot of times, you know, like Kung Pao chicken can be a little spicy, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the rice cools your mouth down. And so, like, that to me is experiencing food when I can go through different flavor profiles in the course of a meal. That's what makes it a cool thing for me. Like, I really tasted the carrot. I really tasted the lamb. I really tasted the, you know, the lettuce, whatever it is. Like, so I like to mix it up.
oh, okay. Okay, well, I guess in just a moment we're going to be watching a video you cooking for us. Do you know what it is that you'll be cooking for us on this video?
I'm not sure which one they'll pick, but I'm gonna make sure it's longer than 27 seconds. I think I have one that has me cooking one of my signature items, the Merlin style crab cake,
Okay.
um, with the mango relish, and it's really cool. So I would think that you guys would want to tune into that, which actually is one of my signature items off the Stew Sticks menu. Really quickly, Stew Sticks is one of my signature menu items, which will be a fast casual concept displayed into restaurants, casinos, airports, stadiums worldwide as time goes on. Currently, I'm actually using it as a catering menu before COVID. And now that we're starting to look like we're moving again, I'll go back to my pursuit of getting inside of an establishment. But that's a cool little video that I think that we should definitely get you guys to see, and I'm hoping that the viewers enjoy. And there's other little cool little videos that they can kind of check out to, you know, get a better understanding of Chef Stew.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be watching that in just a moment. But I guess that's all the time we have for right now, Chef Stu. We'd love to have you back sometime if you ever want to come back. If you want to plug something new for us or something like that, like a new recipe you want to cook for us, we'd love to
Oh,
have you.
I would love to. I would love to. Honestly, it's not even a suggestion. It's already a done deal. We'll just set it all up. If I could just leave on the note of telling people that's watching, I do have a show that will be showing you guys how to cook from start to finish
Mhm.
on the Voozle app. It's called How To with Chef Stew. I'm answering all kinds of questions on how to make certain meals at the comfort of your own home. So if you guys have questions that you want answered, please feel free to give me a call and email me, and I'll answer your question on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the clip. Please go to my website, www.chefstew.com. Of course, stew is spelled STEW. You could just Google the hashtag Chef Stew. Nothing that I've shared is me bragging. Everything is my testimony. I'm a very passionate guy. I love what I do. In today's climate, we have to make sure that we embrace each other wholeheartedly. I love you just as much as you love me. So please get familiar, man. Like, let's change the nature of the culture. I'm a cool guy. I've never allowed anything that I've accomplished in my culinary arts industry to allow for me to treat people any differently, and not even to try to go anywhere crazy with what I'm saying. There's a lot of white people who have helped me in my journey, and so I think that some of that is stuff that needs to be spoke on as well as we move forward. And so I come with a clear conscience, a pure heart, and again, I love who loves me. Let's do what's right, and let's kill the tension in the airwaves. And so you having me is a testament to things going in a different direction. You know, you made an exception. I'm not a chef. Not that it had anything to do with who I was, and you know, in that regard. But look how you went out of your norm from the music to the chef, and indirectly we were able to not make a fuss about anything, but at the same time, you know, I'm letting you know, from a black man to a white man, I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for having me on the show. And I look to come back at some time, and I hope that your viewers listening can see that it's time for us to do the right thing, man.
Okay. Well, we'll be happy to have you back, and I guess we'll go right into this recipe right here, and we'll be right back. So don't go away. We'll see you then.
All right.
What's up, Las Vegas? It's your boy, Chef Stu, and I'm here today to show you guys how to make an authentic crab cake. You might have seen me make this crab cake on God's Grocery Games, but today I'm going to show you how to make it in the comfort of your own home. Right here, I have all the ingredients that it takes to make a crab cake. Alright, first thing we're going to do is cut the red pepper down into a brunoise cut, which is a really small fine dice, as you can see. Alright guys, after you see the red pepper has been cut, let's move on to the parsley. And now we're going to take the lemon. I like to use a microplane to get the zest. Do not want you to throw away the lemon, just in case we need some of the juice to make sure that the mixture isn't dry. 2 whole eggs, crack them, and let them go right on in. And I'll just beat it gently. Alright, here's where the flavor starts to come in at. And really just want to do about 1 tablespoon as well of a little seasoning. This is the claw meat. I like to put the claw in first. Lump crab meat. Last step will be your panko breadcrumbs. Now this is to be done with really no measurement. It's over here getting hot. And you just want a nice golden brown crab cake. Add a little grease trap set to the side. Nice little stick, bamboo stick. And there you have it, Las Vegas. Crab cakes.